People here in Liberation Square, at least, has been ruling the country for 30 years, and after those 30 years, these people are left with a feeling of hopelessness, that they did not have a chance to have a good future, that they did not have a chance to have their rights, just their basic rights. And that was underlined in the sermon of the Sheikh today, who was presiding the prayer. He said, and that's as far as I could say, because I could hear, because I couldn't hear all of it, but I heard him clearly saying, we're not asking much, we're asking just for dignity and freedom. That is one sentence I heard very clearly, and at that specific moment, the crowd did break out in a cheer, very small cheer, then went back into prayer. Now they're saying invalid. But I have to say that I'm judging what's happening from this vantage point according to the sort of energy of the sound that's emanating. And since last night, it's been overpowering, even from my vantage point. Another measurement I use to see how many people come here or not is I try to figure out how much pavement I can really see. And at the moment, I actually can't see any pavement.
Can you actually see the entrances to the square, Hoda? Can you see if people are still arriving?
Yes, definitely across Castro-Hill Bridge there are people coming. That's the bridge that goes from west into the east part of the city, and I can also see people coming from this side from the northern side of the square. The southern side of the square is completely packed, and that's the area that leads to Parliament and to the Cabinet building. So that area there are less people coming in from because there's also the army stationed in that area. It's only 1 o'clock here in Cairo, and if I go by any measurement of what happened over the past few days, usually the square fills up after 1 o'clock. So it remains really to be seen what will happen in the next few hours.
All right, well, it remains to be seen, but there's plenty to be heard, Hoda. Let's just listen in again at what is a remarkable amount of noise. This crowd is now probably been informed that the army, contrary to some people's predictions, has not decided to take interim power in the government, has not called upon the president to step aside, and has basically suggested that the status quo will persist, and it would rather see the protesters go home. As you can see from these pictures in Cairo, those protesters have absolutely no intention of going anywhere right now. They're really making their voices heard. And it's not just in Cairo. Let's go to Alexandria and bring you some pictures from there. We have similar scenes happening in the second biggest city in Egypt. And as you can see, a massive crowd also having turned out on the streets there. Our correspondent Jamal Oshail is also there and joins us now. Jamal, tell us what you've been seeing over the past few hours.